Miss Leek lives in a yellow house with yellow interior, and she makes yellow pudding, and she's the scariest lady on Henderson Drive. Even the moms are scared of her that live on our street. The kids on our street are me, my brother James, and our best friend Camp, who lives right next door to Miss Leek. Sometimes we would hit a wiffle ball over into Miss Leek's yard, and we'd go up to the house like very carefully and like touch her door, and she would answer the door, and sometimes she would give the ball back, and sometimes she wouldn't. She was that mean. One day, Camp, our friend's family, decided to move, and they need someone to watch their dog while they're renting a place that wouldn't allow pets. And to everyone's surprise, Miss Leek offers to take care of their dog, Callie, who's an old dog that probably would fit with Miss Leek, because this dog isn't very friendly either. But I worried about this because I like Callie, even though she didn't really like kids, and I didn't want her to stay with Miss Leek. But eventually, nothing happened, and I got over it. One day, I was taking my dog for a walk, a puppy beagle named Scout. He was quite rambunctious, and I was trying to teach him to walk nice down a leash instead of pulling on the nylon lead all the time. And we were just walking along, and I happened to turn around, and I noticed that Miss Leek and Callie were gaining on us, walking. I never even seen Miss Leek outside her house before, much less walking around the neighborhood, so this was a total shock to me. So I tried to pull Scout, and started walking like even faster, and they eventually caught up to us. I stood very still and like mumbled an apology, hoping if I didn't move, she wouldn't see me. Jurassic Park logic. But she offered to walk with me, so I was too afraid to decline and run away at this point. So I did, and I kind of just kept looking on the ground, trying to notice the leaves and the pebbles and not step on them. I didn't want to make a sound. Somehow we walked, and I ended up back in my front yard, and nothing bad happened. It all seemed like a blur afterwards. I was trying to tell Camp and James the story, which they didn't believe me at first. But yeah, everything was kind of back to normal by that evening. I was over it, and the next day was normal school, normal homework. Later that afternoon, I was doing my homework inside, and later that afternoon, my mom came inside and was like, "Hey, there's someone waiting for you outside." So I go outside, and at the end of my driveway was Miss Leek and Callie waiting for me. Asking my mom, just like as if Camp would come over every day and ask my mom if me and James could play outside, she was asking me whether I would go on a walk with her and Callie. I was too petrified to say yes, but I was even more scared to decline. So I go, and I get my dog Scout, and I hook the lead to him, my hands are shaking. Kind of like they are now. So we go on this walk, and once again, don't say anything. We just go on the walk. I think she asked me some questions like, what's my favorite subject in school? Math. Just one-word answers, so I don't have to say more than one word, which is what I preferred. Yeah, so and that actually happens to be the routine for months. We go around the cul-de-sac every day, usually around like 5 in the afternoon maybe. One day I get home from school and she's waiting there for me as soon as I get home from school. This is a problem because, like Nina, I'm a straight A student and I do my homework as soon as I get home. Like, this is the way it has to be done. I'm not gonna not do it. So I say no. Miss Leek buys it, and she and Callie go on their way. And so this goes on for some time as well. So the days start to get darker around like 5 o'clock. But I need to do my homework right when I get home, and a lot of times by the time I was done with my homework, it was already dark, so I missed walking with Callie and Miss Leek. But I still went with them from time to time. It really started to weigh on me I didn't really change how I was, like, on the outside. I still wouldn't really talk to her. I was still really nervous around her. But it really started to weigh on me on the inside. I started to feel really guilty for not walking with her. It's not like anyone else was Miss Lake's friend on the street. All the other old ladies were afraid of her. I didn't even know if she had any family around here. So, yeah, I was just pretty guilty, but I still didn't want to walk with her. One day when I was walking with her, when I didn't have any homework that day, she took me to her house. And I went inside and was surprised to find that it wasn't like a scary cave like we had all imagined. It actually had really bright colors in it. Actually, only one color, yellow. Yellow furniture, yellow wallpaper, yellow decorations. She even gave me some yellow pudding to eat while I walked around her house and just kind of looked around, noticing stuff, although I try not to notice anything. There weren't any pictures in her house except for one. It was of a little dog. And I knew a lot about dogs, and I knew it was a little Wheaten Terrier. And there was actually a couple pictures of her around the house. I feel like I stayed there forever, but it must have only been like a few minutes. And I ate my pudding, and we went on our way. And I decided after that I should probably, maybe try to walk with Miss Leek more. The next day, I come home from school, and there's sirens blaring. There's an ambulance in front of Miss Leek's house. I take off my backpack as soon as I get home, and I sit cross-legged in the yard. Just wait there to see what happens. Nothing happens for a while. I see a guy who drives the ambulance, and he eventually comes out dragging Callie by her collar. And he, noticing me and assuming that I know kind of who lives in the neighborhood and stuff, brings Callie to me. And I put Callie in the backyard with my dog, unfortunately, and my dog Scout terrorizes her with friendship. I wonder to myself, is Miss Leek my friend? And then eventually she comes out on a stretcher. I can't really tell what's going on. It's still a couple houses away, and I just stay in my yard. Later, the old ladies had told my mom that apparently Miss Leek had a stroke. She apparently had, for like an old lady, I guess she was really strong. She had barred herself in her room, using like her dresser and stuff, and didn't try to keep everybody out. I imagined her in there. She must have been so small, as small as me maybe. That night, I laid in my room and thought about how scary it must have been that she was in there all alone, probably with Callie barking, not wanting anyone to come in and not wanting to come out. That night, I laid in my room and thought about these things. Then I realized that my room was painted yellow, and I got scared, and I slept in my mom's room. The next day, I woke up, and I was feeling a little bit better that morning. It was actually my birthday, and I needed to get ready for the birthday party, and so my mom told me to go brush my hair, and so I went into her room and sat down and braided my hair in front of her floor mirror. She came in not too long later, hesitated, and told me that Miss Leek had died. I looked in the mirror at myself, trying to see what my reflection would do. No red eyes. I didn't even shed a tear. No trembling of the lips. I was really disappointed in what I saw. The party ended up happening anyway, despite this shift in reality. It seemed weird, even just after someone dying, that it would just go on the same. It was even kind of easy to forget for a little while with cake and friends and presents. Afterwards, when everybody went away, I went outside to hang out with my dog Scout, as he was the only one who knew. Well, kind of anyways, he didn't really know. I felt really lonely, and like I was the only one that was witness to this thing that happened, and that no one else knew her but me. And if I was her friend, I was a pretty dreadful one. So yeah, so I just felt, yeah, really bad and stuff. I hoped that I seemed friendly to her at least a little bit. I just decided to lay in the grass and fall asleep since I didn't get much sleep the night before. I dreamed about lots of yellow and um, and thought about um, if I could do it all over again, if I would have, given up my homework and spent time with her. So I laid there, scrolls of yellow and spelling words and multiplication facts, not wanting anyone to come in